Welcome back to Right from the Start. Today I'm going to show you a really fun recipe where you can get all your children involved. It's called cake pops. It's the latest trend. It's all about taking cake and making something fun out of it. So the ingredients for this fun dessert are basically crumbled cake. So I've got a mixture of marble cake that I've powdered and chocolate cake. Then I use dark chocolate, white chocolate, mixed nuts, coconut, and some colored sprinkles to add a lot more fun to it. So the way to melt chocolate is to actually put it into a double boiler. And double boiler means have a saucepan with about water half filled and then put another vessel on top and make sure the vessel is heat proof and make sure that the water doesn't touch the bottom of the vessel. So this is the best way of melting chocolate because chocolate needs to melt slowly. Putting it in the microwave in 30-second blasts actually destroys the compounds in the chocolate and makes it a little stringy. This one will remain smooth. So keep it like this. It'll take about maybe 4-5 minutes. Let it melt gently. You don't have to keep stirring it. It won't get burnt because it's not under direct heat. Yeah. Give it a couple of minutes. We'll be back to it. So the dark chocolate has melted. You can see how nice and glossy it is. This is perfect. Pull it out and let it cool for a couple of minutes. And in the meantime, I'm going to put the white chocolate on. So the whole idea of cake pops is to mix cake and chocolate so that it binds together and then we make it into a nice thing and put it onto a lollipop stick. So I'm going to flavor this with coconut. You can flavor it with whatever you would like, from cardamom to chili to chocolate chips, whatever you like. But it's simple today. A little bit of coconut is what's going to do the trick. So add some coconut. This is to the marble cake that I'm adding the coconut. And then I'm going to add some of our melted chocolate to help bind it together. Add 1 ladle spoon at a time, see how much more you need. And in the meantime, what you need to do is have a plate with a parchment paper ready on it so that we can form the cake balls and then put it into the freezer to set. Now the thing with chocolate is it's nothing to be scared of. It's a very easy ingredient to work with. It's lovely in texture. We just have to make sure that the heat under it is correct and that also there's no water that comes into it. When water falls into chocolate, it makes it very crumbly and it no longer is smooth. So I need to add a little bit more chocolate to this. Chocolate is good to add into this mixture because it sets firm. Instead of adding things like cream or coconut milk or any of that, that won't make it set as firm. So therefore, please do add chocolate. Okay? So this is perfect. It's come together well. It's crumbling. So now what you need to do is take little bits in your hand. Make it as big or small as you like. But remember that it's going onto a lollipop stick. Make sure that it comes together. Make a ball and then set this in the fridge for about half an hour. Then we're ready for the next step. So I've made some cake pops out of dark chocolate and chocolate cake and now I'm making them out of marble cake and white chocolate. So just press it together until it is firm enough and you know that you've put in enough chocolate. Roll it into a nice ball and then freeze it for about half an hour. Just keep checking on it. Once it's firm enough, then we can put the lollipop stick through it and move on to the next stage. So the cake pops are set and it's time for the fun part. First, we've got to put in the lollipop sticks. So what you need to do is hold your cake pop and gently press in the lollipop stick. Make sure you don't break open the cake. And if it is still very soft, just put it back into the fridge for a little while longer and it'll set. It's important that it is set in its shape, otherwise when we dip it into the hot chocolate, it will break apart. Okay. Now this is the part where you need to get your children involved. Bring in the bowls of white and dark chocolate that you have and have anything that you would like to decorate. So today I've got some colored sprinkles, mixed nuts and some peppermint and put it into a jar. So today our jar has got bananas, but you can put soil, pebbles, colored sprinkles, anything like that to make this stand. So let's start decorating. So now that the cake pops are skewered, dip it into chocolate. So the dark chocolate ones are going with the chocolate cake pops and dip it into as much or as little chocolate as you would like. Once you've poured in the chocolate, just roll until all the excess chocolate comes off. If there's too much of chocolate, then it starts to drip all the way down. So make sure that there's not too much of chocolate. Okay, twirl it around. Tap it if needed and all the excess chocolate will come off. Then I'm going to roll in colored sprinkles. Okay, that's your cake pop done. Let it stand for a couple of minutes so it cools and sets, and continue decorating the rest. So I'm going to do the same thing with our vanilla ones. I'm dipping it in white chocolate. Then hold it up, let all the excess drip off. This is such a fun way to get children involved because there's no right or wrong way. Let them dip it into whatever they like. Let them dip it as much as they like. And if it breaks apart, what's wrong with it? It's as tasty to eat. So this is done. I'm going to roll it in some peppermint flakes. And in the case of white chocolate, I'm just going to hold it up for a couple of minutes before I put it into the banana, because this has a completely different set of chemical reactions and therefore it takes a little longer to set. So just hold it up like this. It'll be set in a couple of minutes and ready to eat. So this is my recipe for cake pops. A lovely, fun way to deal with cake and to get all your children involved in so many different varieties. Have a try at it.